Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is a special edition.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl. And we've got a classic in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
One thing he does very well, he takes care of the football. Had 176 pass attempts to start his career without an interception. That's the most in NFL history. And finished his rookie year, 23 touchdown passes and only 4 interceptions.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a first down. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
How about the defense not hanging their heads from the previous play where they were beat for a big run, came back on the very next down and made a play defensively that was to their credit.
On second down, Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The veteran Connor Barwin in on the stop. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. But he's got it to Hearns. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Allen Hearns, 35 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. This offense has a lot to account for, but at the top of the defense's list is OBJ.
I'm not sure how you really game plan for him, because no matter what you do, he finds a way to uncover himself downfield. And the speed gets it from his mom, a former sprinter at LSU.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago. And last week in that victory, they were pretty good. Probably a pretty easy film session, I would imagine.
And after a performance like that, so many people think you just roll into film, take your popcorn, kick back, and enjoy the show because they played well. I can just tell you from experience, after a win is when coaches come down on you harder, because they want to emphasize all the mistakes that happened. Because you won, you're in a good mood. They want to bring you back to earth. Oftentimes you walk out of there and you ask your teammate, did we win last week?
So my assumption was wrong. I learned something.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And with the snow here, maybe asking too much of the kicker to try a field goal. So instead, offense on the field, they'll go for it on 4th down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down, and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Back to throw. That is caught inside the 5. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on.
Now he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. Rosas now to kick this one away. here now, the offense heading back out there. One semi-factor, if you want to call it that was brought up in the papers this morning here, Charles. You got a dome team on the road in a cold weather environment, first round of the playoffs in January. Do you think that's a big deal?
Ordinarily, I say no. But in this situation, because you're used to that perfectly controlled environment, some coaches will want their teams exposed to it. And if you're coming from a warm weather place and, even getting outside of your dome doesn't really help you, a lot of times they'll go on the road a little bit earlier. Go to a cold weather place, go to a place where there's a little bit of weather and practice there that week before the game to try and simulate the conditions they expect come game day.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run with Elliott. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with 3rd down and just a yard to go. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got 3 in 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only a yard of the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Prescott to throw it. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Allen Hurns with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Now for the point after. Extra point safely through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
How fun will it be to watch Barkley and Elliott go at it twice a year? Here's 1st and 10. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for it in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. This is Elliott, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Prescott from the gun. He completes it to Bryant. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dez Bryant, 59 yards. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Now the try here for the extra point. The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Now this offense ready to head back out there. Right now they're in some uncharted waters, Charles. They haven't been facing deficits like this season. We're going to see what they're made of.
And I think the easy thing right now is for us to discuss how the home crowd can help them, carry them along. Bottom line, though, they've got to make plays to get the crowd back into it, to help them with the rest of their game. That means best players got to make those big-time plays right now. They need them in a big way.
Well, they fought so hard to be here at home for the conference championship game. See if they can propel themselves to the Super Bowl. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, That big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. A first down carry for Barkley. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the play.
Such a valuable commodity to have a tight end who can run and get open. How about what he just did there? Worked his way from right to left across the field and found his way free.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. His throw at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And in this weather, and I know you weren't a quarterback, you were on the defensive side of things, but how hard is it to throw that football?
It can't be easy because you never know how the moisture is going to affect things, and each quarterback handles it differently. Some of them are a little bit better than others. Depends whether they wear a glove, not wear a glove. How cold is it? You know, all those things go into it. But it goes to everything else. Keeping your footing when you're running routes. Supposedly you have the advantage as a receiver because you know where you're going, but that's not easy as well. Finally, just locating the ball when it finally comes through the snow. Kids love it. Kids love snow. Players, not so much at times.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Rosas to add the extra point. This time, the extra point up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 21-17. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Prescott. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. ends up falling to the ground incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
The Cowboys on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way down to the 35. It's a big play there on 3rd down. 41 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Wide open receiver, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the 1st half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
He'll get it up the middle, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Bo Scarborough taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. This is taken at the 3. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. A handoff to Barkley. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll set up to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now Saquon Barkley, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Now it's Barkley. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They're going to look to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Well, it's one thing to complete that pass on a nice sunny 70-degree day, but in these elements, that's a tough thing to do.
It is, and let's just put the whole thing together, not just throwing the ball. Trying to protect the quarterback now when you got the pass rushers coming at you, and maybe things are a little slippery on the field. The guys trying to cover downfield, wanting to make sure they keep their footing as the guys make their cuts. Looking back.
And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham from 4 yards out. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead. And the defensive there, that was a battle. He just made a really nice play.
A really nice play, making sure his body position was correct. And how about the throw? Zipped it in there.
And it results in the touchdown. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Rosas now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Our focus now moving to Dez Bryant as he heads back out there. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing. Because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear sight lines to him, and maybe that'll slow him down.
And this is not the guy you want to let play pitch and catch. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. James has got it, complete. And he's got this down to the 35. And this is good for a first down, his 2nd grab of this NFC Championship bout.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. On the crossing route, complete. It's Bryant. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he's got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
His pass caught at the 4. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. As his guys are in for 6, and the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Point after try forthcoming. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control a game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
As we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run. Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. They'll rifle this one deep right side. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the first half.
The Giants on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. They'll drop the throw. And that is incomplete.
These two offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on 3rd down.
Well, let's see. Yeah, the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11.
Here we go now.
They'll try and throw for it here. And this is incomplete. What a real head-scratcher there. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there was a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. In a bit, the coach is with us per usual. As we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Well, a good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Now Prescott. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 4th down. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
Make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. And let's not take for granted, in these conditions, that's never an easy pass and catch.
You really got to find a way to drive the ball. You know, get your grip.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Demarcus Lawrence able to drop him for a loss of 4. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. And it's 3rd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Travis Rudolph, 52 yards. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
And 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing, anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Rosas now to add the PAT. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Rosas now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. The give is to Elliott. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. As always, what half remains in the Battle of the Sea, he will take home that George Halas Trophy and represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. So with that, let's get you right back out for the second half, as one of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. To find out who, let's turn it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Halas Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is a do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On the run, it's Barkley. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll look to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. The job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Looking to throw. Prescott. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
And absolutely zero surprise that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet and go, oh, I've got the exact play to dial up?
No, that's just a head scratching down when you're facing the 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. With a tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight, but I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
Back to throw here. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And this is good for a first down. His second grab in this NFC Championship bout. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot.
And Ingram's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Delay of game, offense.
This certainly feels like they were wanting to go for 2, but weren't really sure they should go for 2. Do we, don't we, do we, don't we? And guess what ends up happening?
5-yard penalty.
That's right. Now you probably line up and kick the extra point.
The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2.
All right, here we go.
Now back to throw. Incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Olivier Vernon brings him down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Here's Prescott, and his pass incomplete.
Let's phrase this delicately, okay? Might have had a better option instead of throwing the football into double coverage.
He was blanketed. I was surprised that he went his direction.
Yeah, should have thought maybe about the check down, take the completion, keep moving.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Prescott to throw it. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Giants will get it now at the 20. Here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. Really solid effort for him right now. Third quarter, already 4 touchdown passes. How many can he get here?
That remains to be seen, but I know one thing. You and I will be here to watch, and I'm not going anywhere. With what he's doing in this contest, I'm not missing a minute of it. This guy's been spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team game, but sometimes these individual performances are fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes they just kind of come to the front, despite the fact, as you said, we know it's all about the team, but the way he's playing, he's trying to make his team win on his back.
Yeah, it's been exciting.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Hurry up, here we go.
Again, it's Barkley. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Set. 3-19.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. He has been on his A game. We're in the 3rd quarter. He's already in search of touchdown pass number 5.
He's played so well that it's hard for me to take my eyes off of him, even when he's not on the field. I keep finding him on the bench in between series, wondering what he's going to do next. This has been a blast to watch him play the position.
He's been spectacular with those 4 touchdown passes.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up 1st down after 1st down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human 1st down machine? I think that fits.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Playing with a catch right side. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 7 yards on the quick slant and a 1st down. Prescott now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Again to Elliott. Nifty move. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 67 yards. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Dante Fowler in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
I would dare say that these guys will have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Here's Riley Dixon now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit and hold it until the evening. It's almost like a Broadway premiere. You got to wait until the nighttime to go out there in front of the bright lights. And boy, has he harnessed himself really well, and now he's unleashing it on the opponents.
The completion good for 3 and it's 2nd down.
And partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
Comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Dante Fowler in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Here we go now.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Giants with possession of the football, but needing points as we start quarter number 4. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
Rosas good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And right now they're just looking for a little more cushion, trying to make this a 2-score game. Points here would go a long way, obviously, to propelling them into the next round.
And this is where the head coach, offensive coordinator, they've had to set a tone all year long about what they do on offense. So most teams want to stay in attack mode, but you have to do it with some bit of caution, don't you? Because you can't come away with no points. You need these points here in order to feel a lot better about where they are in this game.
But this time of the year, playoffs, game of this magnitude, this is what we hope for.
Yeah, it's exactly what we hope for. You want to run your offense cautiously, but not so cautiously that you just give it up. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They go to Elliott again. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. Prescott from the gun. He completes it to Bryant. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On the counter, Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He'll have the win at his back here in the 4th quarter. Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
I know we don't like to admit it. We like to appear to be on top of every situation, but there's no way we expected that. They have the lead, and they pull the fake.
Well, I hit you on your leg under the table because I couldn't believe they were doing that. You're right, lead 4th quarter, but I guess they wanted a bigger cushion.
I guess so, but I guess maybe that is the beauty of it, because there's no way they could have expected on the other side of the ball as well. They have the lead. They expect them to go ahead and kick it.
Flushed out right. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive in total 8 plays and was polished off by the touchdown run from the 16-yard line. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge, because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust, because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
The Giants on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Looking for his receiver, sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 42. They start on the ground with Elliott, twisting away. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. A gain of 3, second down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Throwing, Prescott. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Prescott now from the 50. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And now back out comes the offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see if they attack him here. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his second drop, indeed, not a good look. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he comes back with one complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense is going to take over at their own 20-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to...
Oh, he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence bringing the pressure again, and that is his third sack here tonight.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
He'll drop to throw. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. David Irving in there to drop him yet again, and he must be shell-shocked back there. That's now back-to-back-to-back sacks, and it's 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a magazine cover or 2.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top. And now look at this, big gain, but a fumble. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery, but on 4th down, a change of possession anyway.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Elliott, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now Elliott, and an alley to run. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. And now running right through it. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Shrugs a tackle.
Nice. I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all.
Automatic
And now
first
your
down.
discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a play fake here on 1st down. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Cowboys have recovered.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Time for a break. Back with more in the NFC Championship game after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Elliott. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly
you
right.
like that, don't you?
All game long, They've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. They'll look to throw here on first down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Second and 10 now from the 27.
Hurry up, here we go.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. They said beginning of the year, they set a lofty goal, Charles, of getting to the Super Bowl. They fell one step short of that.
Oh, and that's going to hurt for a long time. That's going to be a big one for the offseason. Their goal now has to be not to wallow in it, but to use it as fuel for next year. Better offseason conditioning, great OTAs and minicamp. You know as well as I do, they'll have T-shirts in their lockers that say, unfinished business. They want to get back there and next time win it.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.